The Lost Soul, Three Generations, Part 2. Gay also sought Postelwaite's opinion on a wide range of issues and often mediated between the settlers and the Spanish regime. The people of Natchez, who believed him to be a fair and reasonable governor, respected Gay also. In 1792, he was able to avert a war between the Choctaw Indians and the northern settlers who were encroaching on the tribe's hunting grounds. The Treaty of Natchez guaranteed the Choctaws a protected area for tribal needs. Gayoso also protected the rights of farmers and cattlemen by enacting strict trading laws or regulations, a man ahead of his time. Gayoso even implemented one of the first anti-pollution laws in North America. Through his business success and ties with the Spanish governor, Samuel Postelwaite soon stood at the highest rung of the local social and economic ladder. In 1805, he married Anne Dunbar, the daughter of a wealthy settler, William Dunbar. The ruins of Dunbar's massive plantation, the forests are visible on Highway 61 north 6 miles south of Natchez. Two years later, a child, Matilda Rose, was born, and on the 24th of September 1810, William Dunbar Postelwaite came into the world. When France took the vast territory of Louisiana from Spain, the Emperor Napoleon promptly sold the land, which stretched as far north as Canada, to the United States. According to Postelwaite's family law, as Gayoso and the Spanish left the territory in 1803, Samuel Postelwaite's successful career continued. He was named captain of the Natchez artillery and served as an executor of several plantations, each of which was turning a profit. Samuel capped his remarkable success by becoming president of the Mississippi Bank. Upon Matilda's marriage, Samuel presented her with the gift of an estate called Mance, complete with 70 slaves. Samuel didn't limit use of his wealth to his family. He gave freely to the poor, becoming a true friend of the needy people of Natchez. A yellow fever epidemic struck Natchez in the mid-1820s, taking a vicious toll on the population. On 25th October 1824, the newspaper Ariel reported that we have a morbid or infected atmosphere. There can be no doubt. The news from Natchez respecting disease is truly melancholy. Numbered among those who have died since the last Ariel was published, Samuel Postelwaite, 52, president of the bank. Samuel Postelwaite is entombed in Natchez Cemetery. Simon Henry Greene was born on 31 March 1799 in Centerville, Rhode Island, the youngest of Job and Abigail Greene, 4 children. Job Greene was the eldest son of Nathaniel Greene's cousin, late Colonel Christopher Greene, who had died a hero in the American Revolution. While Colonel Greene was distinguishing himself in the war, degrees of managing the mill estate of the Greene family had been placed in the hands of young Job. The family had inherited the mills and several farms from his his father in 1761, when Philip Greene decided to divide much of his wealth among his children. This property extended from Coventry to the forks of the Patuxent River and included a section of a manufacturing village known as River Point. Philip presented Christopher with a mansion that stood on almost 500 acres. Much of the remaining River Point property was bequeathed to Job and Jeremiah. Barely 25, Job Greene quickly exhibited a natural talent for management and administration. His abilities were akin to those of a much experienced businessman. As with many other Greenes, Job's success in business went hand in hand with civic responsibilities. A commander in the Kentish Guard artillery, he also served as a lieutenant in the 2nd Regiment of the Rhode Island State Brigade. Job held a seat on the Warrant Council and served in the Rhode Island House of Representatives, later the State Senate. Simon Henry Greene was 9 years old when his father Job died in 1808. Along with brother Christopher and two sisters, Susanna and Mary Ann, Simon grew up in an atmosphere of wealth and privilege, tempered by devotion to the state and nation. The four children were given the finest educations and were well traveled. The oldest child, Christopher, had all the attributes for carrying on the Greene legacy. By his early 20s, he was an accomplished writer and orator. At the age of 26, Christopher became one of the first of the Greene family to seek adventure and fortune in the South, becoming a successful merchant in Charleston, South Carolina. He married Mary Ann Lehigh of Charleston and fathered one child who survived only a few days. Soon after, Christopher contracted scarlet fever and he died on 6 November 1825. He was 39 years old. Mary Ann would join him in death 3 years later. Simon lived to tell his own children about the brother who dared to go south, never to return. As the only surviving son, Simon became the heir to the River Point Mills. By 1838, he had moved from Providence with his wife and family to Clyde, Warwick, where he built a house. Clyde is a village and part of the city of Warwick, which is now the town of West Warwick. Adjacent to River Point, it was here that Simon would establish a new mill. Simon had married Carolina Avon, a granddaughter of Roger Williams, the founding father of Rhode Island, in 1822. As Simon's business, the 8th Green Company, grew, so did his family. 20 years after the move to Warwick, Simon and Caroline had 7 surviving children, all sons. The oldest was Edward, followed by Henry, Christopher, Kip, William Rogers, John, George, and baby Francis. Simon adored his children, and a close friend observed that the home on Main Street had an atmosphere of peace and harmony, with much pleasantry and humor. Caroline Greene enjoyed the daily transformation of her husband when he returned from the mill and became one with the boys.